Hi, my name is Alexis Larson, and I'm doing a presentation on Italy, the culture and the nonverbal communications. Italian culture and nonverbal communications is presented to inform the audience of Italy's rich culture and how to communicate effectively with its people. Art, music, kinesics, eye contact, and haptics and appearance are all aspects of the culture. The first concept of communication that we will explore is Italian music, because as you will learn, it is a major part of Italy's culture. The history of Italian music. Historically, opera has been a big part of Italian society. Opera music was founded in Italy in 1607 to commemorate the annual festival of Mantua. During the 18th century, the castrated Italians, males, were taught beginning in childhood to sing soprano and mezzo for church choirs. In the late 18th century, the very dramatic opera buffa, meaning comic opera, became popular. Italian music today is heavily influenced on other European and Western cultures. Opera is a major part of Italian society, and many of today's famous opera singers come from Italy. Most music styles common are pop, punk rock, and hip hop in Italy. Music is a form of communication. Nobody can deny that music is a powerful form of communication. It can make us think certain ways about something or even cheer us up. The intensity of the message depends on the appropriate melody and on the way the singer-artist performed the song. In other words, the message in the song depends on how the singer-artist has given life to the song. Communication is about creating meaning. In addition to music, art is also a key element in Italian culture and communication. Italian culture has a rich history of art in which provides cultural identity to the people. The artists have left their mark on major artistic movement of the Western world. Some history of the Italian art include, among the earliest forms of Italian art, are wall frescoes that are found on graves. These are done when artists paint on fresh plaster, and as it dries, it becomes part of the plaster and survives longer. The Renaissance was a defining moment in history, that the most productive period in the history of art. Large numbers of masters, including Donatello, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael, come from all major fields of arts. New attitudes towards artists began to form and were considered part of the liberal arts in Italy, which was regarded as being on a higher level. And the ideas of the artistic geniuses became popular around the country as well as the rest of the world. An interest in Roman culture as well as mathematics and science led to an explosion of increased knowledge, leading to a more fluid and aesthetically pleasing from the art of the artist. Pursuit and beauty became widespread. Primary subjects were religious based, such as biblical scenes and saints from the Bible. The very first paintings were flat and lacked luster, and the figures in the picture were fairly primitive and anatomical form. Because the peaked interest in science and mathematics occurred during the Renaissance era, people became more knowledgeable of the bodily proportions and well as figured out how to make the picture look three-dimensional. Biblical based subjects occurred in Italian art because the people in this culture were influenced heavily by their faith in the Catholic Church during the Renaissance. Italian art and nonverbal communication. Artists try to portray a message or emotion within their painting, sculpture, or architecture. This gives their audience a deeper connection or additional knowledge about their subjects. Nonverbal cues can register our senses from a variety of sources simultaneously. This means that because we can only focus on one thing at a time, that taking time in each source to understand what the artist is trying to achieve in their piece. Michelangelo sculpted David with a tense, stern look, yet great beauty in each curve of his body. Michelangelo did this because he believed that was a time when David was about to face the giant, and it was the moment of his greatest courage. So, to depict this great moment in the Bible, Michelangelo used nonverbal images within David's face to create such emotion. Now that we have learned the importance of music and art in Italian culture, I will be presenting a concept of kinesics. Kinesics, the use of human movement, gesture, posture, and communication. Italy has a high context culture, meaning it is a culture in which people derive much information from nonverbal and environmental cues, and less information from the words of the message. Italian culture is rich in the use of kinesics. Thus, it would be wise to study the numerous travel guides available in the Italian traveler so that they do not confuse or offend those within the Italian culture and understand their nonverbal language. Gestures, visible bodily actions that communicate particular messages, either in place of speech or together and in parallel with spoken words. When meeting an Italian for the first time, be ready to shake hands, but if they come at you, be ready to do an air kiss. This will be conducted with lips to the cheek or the air. You do not have to do contact, and don't be surprised if there is contact with the cheek. Nonverbal behaviors that helps control the interaction or level of communication between people are regulators. Italy and America are similar in how we regulate our communication. Avoidance, avert the eyes, cross your arms, lean back, or close your mouth. Interest, eye contact, the raising of brows, lean in, smile. Eye contact and haptics. In addition to music and art and kinesics, eye contact and haptics play an integral role in Italian communication. Italians are one culture that relies heavily on eye contact. Eye behavior is often most associated with the understanding of deception. Italians use eye contact to depict how honest one is. Intense, direct eye contact is common. Looking away is a sign of disinterest and or that you are behaving rude. Also maintain eye contact while talking. It is considered that you are hiding something if you look away. Haptics touch is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication. A kiss on the cheek when first meeting a friend is most common in Italy. Shaking hands is also very common. When meeting ladies, you must always shake the man's hand first. When meeting for a get-together, they shake hands, introducing children, then again when they depart. Italian differences. What may seem odd in America to Italians is just common in their life. Whistling and winking at women is meant as a compliment and is not used in a degrading way. If you are interested, you will acknowledge. If you are not interested, you will ignore and continue on. Italians stand also much closer than Americans would with each other, and they will walk arm in arm while going down the street. Music, art, kinesics, eye contact, and haptics are cues of nonverbal communication, but just as important is the nonverbal communication expression of appearance. Appearance is key. You can also see this, you can learn this through children's books in Italy as well. What you wear can tell people a lot about you before you open your mouth to speak. In fact, many psychologists agree that close to 90% of what people remember about an encounter is related to nonverbal communication, a large portion of that being an overall appearance and demeanor. Italians are known for bringing a second pair of shoes, so when they get off work, they are ready to go out in the town. Appearance does matter in Italy. What we consider as formal is their informal. Music is a powerful form of communication, which is important in Italian culture. Italian culture has a rich history in art in which it provides cultural identity to the people. Kinesics, the high context culture of Italy, shows that Italians rely on nonverbal communication as opposed to words. Italians rely heavily on eye contact. The use of haptics, touch, is used to greet one another. Italians place emphasis on appearance just as many other cultures, in which influences perceptions of credibility and status. There are several sources that you can use throughout the internet. There is Google, there are traveling books, there is also the history within it and the History Channel too. Thank you very much.